Today we're demoing our Bluetooth board called the Blue Olive. You'll notice that if you're familiar with our products, you'll notice that the Blue Olive sounds a lot like the Olive. And the Olive is our product that connects via USB to our Arduino clone boards. The Blue Olive is called the Blue Olive because it acts just like a USB connector in that it provides UART information to the computer when you connect to it to the device, and it uses the same connector that it uses to connect to the USB. So in a lot of ways it's like a wireless USB connection, but what it does is it basically emulates a serial connection. So it's really easy to do some stuff with it, but it is in fact a class 1 Bluetooth device. So yeah, it goes up to about 100 feet in range. It's a lot of fun to work with. We have this connected right now to our Magnolia board, but it also works with our Oak board and also with other bare bones Arduino clones that you might see out on the internet today. So this is not a proprietary connector or a proprietary chip or anything. It should work with just about anything. And what we're looking at right now is the power connector, so we can power our UART connection, and you'll see this is connected to just a regular 9-volt battery. So we saw in the previous video the actual hardware for the Blue Olive, and we saw it connected to a Magnolia device. Before you could get started with it, though, we need to get it set up with the computer, and I'm running a Macintosh right now because I do a lot of iOS programming, but on a PC it should work the same, and even on a Linux box, you know, it should be fairly simple to connect a Bluetooth device. But we're going to run through it right now, and the first thing that you're going to need to do is open up your system preferences, and if your computer has Bluetooth, which it probably does, have a look and see if you can find the little Bluetooth icon right here. So we're going to select that. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to need to couple our computer with the Blue Olive device. And the Blue Olive's name is Blue Olive. So right now what we're going to do is set up a new device, and we should see this window pops right up, and right up at the very top we've got devices, Blue Olive, so we're going to choose that. And the passcode for the Blue Olive is 1234, and we can get that on the Mac by going into passcode options and use a specific passcode, 1234. And there we go, we've put that in. We're going to hit continue. It's going to pair with the Blue Olive using 1234. And there we go. Pairing was completed successfully. A computer serial port was created. What this means is that the computer now has a serial emulation port connected to the Magnolia board that we have the Blue Olive connected to. So I'm going to quit this. And so now what we want to do is we want to test our connection between the Blue Olive and the computer. So right now what I'm going to do is bring up a terminal, and don't be afraid, this is just going to be very simple here. So when you're actually doing this for real and you're creating software, you know, you're not going to use terminal, you're going to use a serial connection library for whatever software you're using. So, you know, if I was doing Objective-C, what I'd do is I would open up a serial framework for doing for capturing the output that comes out of the device. So you don't have to worry about it being Bluetooth. All you have to do is just worry about the actual connection to the serial emulation port on your device. And you'll see what I mean when I show you the script. So in order to see what's connected, right now we can do this particular command to see a list of all the different devices that are currently connected to this computer. So you'll see that one of them is tty.blueolive.spp. So what we have here is we have a emulated serial connection, and this is our connection to the actual BlueOlive that we see here. This is not something I created. This is what is set up when you create a pairing that we just did. Now, in order to see the output to your terminal, you just simply type in screen. Screen is the terminal way of capturing the output of a particular device driver. So in this case, we're going to do a screen of BlueOlive. So we see the triple $, which means it's starting the connection to the BlueOlive. And here we see the data coming out. So I have a photoresistor connected to the Magnolia, connected to the BlueOlive, and we can see that the data coming out is it's reflecting the light source coming out of the photoresistor. If I block the resistor or if I show it light, there's different data coming out. So this is the kind of, now I have the data coming out formatted to JSON. You can format the data however you want as XML or whatever. That's in the actual Arduino code, which we'll have a look at as well. But here we see an example of the life cycle of a BlueOlive board connected to a Magnolia with a photoresistor input in the analog 0 position, outputting to a terminal window that's just showing the raw output as a result of this Bluetooth connection. So let's switch over to the Arduino code. And here we're just having a quick look at the sketch. This is what we wrote to the Arduino in order to do the demo that you just saw. There's really nothing special that's in here other than just a few lines. So just to recap what I said before, all we're doing is we're just writing out to serial. So since the hardware does all the heavy lifting, what the BlueOlive is doing is it's basically taking the serial, it's emulating the serial connection over Bluetooth. So whatever you're doing, all you have to do is just concentrate on your serial connections, both in the software on your computer and also the software that's on the Arduino. And you don't have to worry about all the intricacies that have to do with Bluetooth communications. So in this particular case, we see the only thing that's unusual here is we have a reset message being set to the Bluetooth device. We're naming the Bluetooth device here, and we're just setting the pin ready to communicate here. So really, that's all that's going on with a slight delay in between each of these messages during the setup portion of the software. So everything else in this loop is just basically the output that I'm writing to serial. So if you wanted to have something where you're reading from a totally different device, from a totally different port, you could put that all in the loop message here. You don't have to, none of this has to be what I've done in the loop. So you can create your own message out. So if you don't have a Bluetooth device and you want to create the program before you get the Bluetooth device, all you have to do is just make sure that it writes out to the console window, make sure it writes out the serial. If you could see it in terminal when you have the program running, then it's going to communicate out to your device when you have it standing alone using the BlueOlive. So just to recap, all we're doing is the only thing that's particular to Bluetooth here is we're doing this $ reset, setting the name, getting it ready to transmit, and that's about the only stuff that's kind of special here. So that finishes that, and you can see that the output, when it outputs to it via Bluetooth, it'll look something like this. This is something that I have outputting because I like working with JSON. This is the JSON data format. You don't have to do it. You can output it however you want. You can have it output just numbers. You could have it output as an XML string. In this particular case, I have it to where if digital pin 1 is set to, if the digital pin is set to 1, it's going to output XML. If the digital pin is set to 0, it's going to output JSON. That's how I have it set, but you could have it set however you want. You don't have to do any of those data formats. You could just, like I said, just output raw numbers if you want. So that concludes that, and if you guys have any questions, please feel free to give me a buzz. I'm going to be doing a lecture similar to this for the LA Robotics Club on Saturday. Hope to see you guys there. Otherwise, if you guys have any questions about how the Blue Olive may connect to your Arduino device that is not one of ours, please feel free to send that too. Be happy to make it work with whatever device you have set, and it should connect to just about anything. So let me know. And thanks for watching.